House Dondarrion of Blackhaven is an old house from Blackhaven in the Stormlands. They were once sworn to House Durrandon, the ancient Storm Kings of Storm's End, but are now sworn to their successors, House Baratheon, after the downfall of the Storm Kings during the conquest of Aegon Targaryen. They are considered one of the Marcher Lords, given their house's location in the Dornish Marches, the borderlands between the Stormlands and Dorne to the south. The seat of Blackhaven is located in the Dornish Marches, near the Boneway, controlling the pass to Dorne, making it an important strategic stronghold well into the Targaryen era of Westeros, until Dorne eventually joined the Seven Kingdoms. Their sigil is a forked purple lightning bolt on a black field, speckled with 4 pointed stars, with their house words currently unknown. Old and ancient tales from the Stormlands say that House Dondarrion was founded when a messenger from the Storm King of House Durrandon was ambushed by 2 Dornishmen while riding on a dark, stormy night in the Dornish Marches. An arrow killed his horse, and his sword broke when he fell. When he thought he was doomed, a bright purple lightning bolt struck the Dornishmen, killing both, leaving only their smoking and charred corpses. The man was thus able to deliver his crucial message on time. For this, the Storm King raised him to lordship, and he became the first Lord Dondarrion. This new Lord Dondarrion raised his keep in the Dornish Marches, in the very pass where he was ambushed, and made it his mission of his new house to protect the borders of the Stormlands from attacks and raids from the Dornish. During Aegon's conquest of Westeros, House Dondarrion took part in the legendary battle known as the Last Storm, siding with the Storm King, Argilac Durrandon. During this battle, which saw the downfall of the Storm Kings and the rise of House Baratheon, a bastard of a member of House Dondarrion, simply known as the Bastard of Blackhaven, was killed by Queen Rhaenys Targaryen and her dragon Meraxes, as the mounted knights of the Stormlanders broke the line of the Targaryen invaders in a false ploy to lure them into a trap. In 37 AC, Lord Harmon Dondarrion had his nose cut off by the Vulture King, an infamous Dornish outlaw, who also burned Blackhaven. Harmon helped Lady Ellen Caron and Lord Samwell Tarly defeat the Dornish outlaws in the Second Dornish War, and took part in the famous Vulture Hunt, a Targaryen-led offensive into the Red Mountains of Dorne to root out and kill the outlaw Vulture King once and for all. For his role in the Vulture Hunt, it is said that King Aenys I Targaryen rewarded Lord Harmon handsomely, which allowed him to fund the repairs and rebuilding of Blackhaven. Later, in 61 AC, Lord Simon Dondarrion was a noted musician, poet and warrior who helped defeat another Vulture King in the Third Dornish War. He too was rewarded by King Jaehaerys Targaryen, with one of his daughters becoming a companion to good Queen Alysanne. At some point between the Third Dornish War and the reign of King Viserys I Targaryen, House Cole began as stewards in the service of House Dondarrion at Blackhaven, their most famous member being Sir Criston Cole, the Kingsguard Knight and infamous Kingmaker during the Dance of the Dragons. Sir Arlan of Pennytree and Duncan the Tall, later Sir Duncan the Tall of the Kingsguard, served both Lords Caron and Dondarrion when they fought another Vulture King in the Red Mountains 3 years before the tourney at Ashford Meadow in 206 AC. Lord Dondarrion took 800 knights and nearly 4,000 footmen into the campaign. Sir Duncan later recognised House Dondarrion's purple lightning bolt at Ashford. Sir Manfred Dondarrion refused to vouch for Duncan's knighthood, even after Duncan repeated the story of his family's origins and arms as he had heard it in the camp of Manfred's Lord Father years before. Into the Baratheon era of Westeros, to the timeline of the main book series, it is said that Jane Paul becomes infatuated with the young Lord Beric Dondarrion when she sees him at the Hand's tourney in King's Landing. During this tourney, a hedge knight kills Beric's horse. Later on, he is later bested by Thoros of Myr. Lord Beric is chosen by Lord Eddard Stark, the Hand of the King, to command 100 men sent to capture Sir Gregor Clegane and execute him for his crimes. However, Beric's company is ambushed by Clegane and Lannister men at the Mummers Ford. Beric and Thoros of Myr lead the survivors of the Mummers Ford in ambushing and attacking the foraging parties of Tywin Lannister. During a clash of kings, Sir Davos Seaworth meets with various Stormlords to try and convince them to join the cause of Stannis Baratheon. but he is unable to find the missing Beric, with many not aware of Beric's current circumstances. It is unknown if Beric's household at Blackhaven declared for anyone during the War of Five Kings due to his absence. However, it is speculated that he may by this point have been presumed dead. The Gregor Clegane's men searched the Riverlands for a brotherhood of outlaws formed by Beric and Thoros in the wake of the Mummer's Ford. A Sir Burton Crakecool boasts that he has slain Beric, but the Lightning Lord reappeared not much later, and Burton is killed himself. By the time of A Storm of Swords, with the War of Five Kings raging in the Riverlands, Lord Beric has been reported as killed by Sir Amry Lorch at Rushing Falls, at least twice by Gregor Clegane, and then again by Vargo Hoat and his bloody mummers. When Arya Stark encounters the Brotherhood without banners, the outlawed survivors of Gregor's attack at the Mummer's Ford, she meets Beric Dondarrion and witness him slain again by Sandor Clegane in a trial by combat. Thoros of Myr revives him, much to the surprise of Arya, but not to any of Beric's followers. She learns that Beric's body was defended at the Mummer's Ford by his squire, young Lord Eric Dane, and was accidentally revived by Thoros when he performed the Last Kiss, a traditional burial rite of the Red Priests. Thoros later confesses that he had revived Beric 6 times. Beric expresses being tired of living by this point, as each time he is brought back, more of him is left behind. During a feast for crows, Brienne of Tarth learns that when the Brotherhood without banners encountered Catelyn Stark's corpse by a riverside, Lord Beric gave her the kiss of life to bring her back and died his final death. The Brotherhood is now led by the revived Catelyn as Lady Stoneheart. With Lord Beric now finally dead for good, the heir and thus new Lord of Blackhaven is unknown by the end of A Dance with Dragons, and that is all we currently know of House Dondarrion.